What's up, dudes? HW here. Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning over in Nashville. Man, I gotta have AI make that into the theme song. It's a beautiful morning up and in Nashville, enjoying coffee, trying to enjoy, just drinking some coffee. Gotta take an, I want to rhyme it with pill. Gotta take another pill. You know what I mean? We gotta make that. It's a beautiful morning up and in Nashville. Time to pick up the six string coffee and chill. Something like that, you know what I mean? Not like Netflix and chill. I mean like actual just to hang out. That took a weird turn. Okay, dudes, today we're talking about this guitar, Squire Paranormal. Look at this thing. I think it looks awesome. Showed it to some of my buddies. They thought it looked like poo-poo. Really. Let me show you the pickups here, and I'm going to tell you why, man, I really want to like be over the moon with a lot of this Fender stuff that I'm seeing out here, because I think they're making some really cool stuff. But dudes, Fender, what's going on? Fender, what's going on? What's going on? Because look, I've been playing some other import stuff, and there's some really nice stuff out there, but in the back of my head, the classic vibe Squire stuff has been like the way to go. Now, this is a paranormal series, right? So let's just run through this, and I'm going to tell you a couple things that really disappoint me about this guitar, but it's otherwise a very cool guitar. And some of these disappointments I'm not seeing on stuff that's even cheaper than this, like from the couple Fesleys that I have. So let's get into it. First of all, pickups. Check out these pickups, okay? Here is the neck pickup. Here's the, this is a 5-way switch because we got like a kind of Strat arrangement here on a very Tele looking guitar. But this is the number, this would be the number 4 position, the neck and the middle out of phase. Here is the number 2 position, kind of quacky thing. And now here is the bridge. It's a thing. Look, overall, I give these pickups like a 6 out of 10. This is where I go, okay, it's a cheaper guitar. You know that you're going to get, you know that that's an area you're going to need to sort of upgrade. I'm actually okay with that. I think we all just understand, like, hey, if they're giving us Alnico pickups, that's cool. That's great. They're going to be kind of good enough. Now, the one thing I will say about this pickup set is it's quite unbalanced to me. Usually I feel like you get something that's the whole guitar is a little too bright or the whole guitar is this way or that way. There's a little bit of harshness going on, I think, at times with this, but it sounds pretty good. But where I'm the most kind of disappointed is this neck pickup. There's just a lot of low grumble frequencies that aren't quite, they doesn't quite have the clarity. And that's fine, but you come to this bridge. So, but that's kind of what I expect, right, out of a guitar like this. What I don't expect is that I will tell you this guitar has maybe the sharpest frets I've ever felt on a guitar. Like absolutely the worst I've ever felt. And this is not something that I've traditionally run into on a lot of Squire guitars. And I was seeing this out of some of the Fesleys. I was seeing this, little bits here and there. This is like by far the worst offender. And so I go pick up my other like the Fesley Tele. That's that's not a bad sound. It's funny as I'm saying this, these frets are sharper than I remember, but they're really on kind of par with that. And this is where I kind of go like, look, I guess that's a better guitar. I don't really know. This one doesn't, it doesn't strike me as that one being a better guitar. Now this one's got, Wilkinson 3 series, all stuff on it. That one's got Fender, I guess those are Alnico. Those sound like Alnico magnets. These sound like ceramics to me. These actually sound a bit dull. Those actually sound a bit piercy on the highs, like a little harsh. Whereas this, I feel like it's not giving me enough juice. It doesn't really have that like single coily Alnico just sort of snap that I miss from a really great pickup. So, both of these guitars have their sort of issues or things that I would fix about them, but it kind of just makes me wonder, placebo being a thing. I regard that as a little better of a guitar. It's also more expensive. I think it's like $399, $379 new. This thing I think you can get for $289 on Amazon. So I think there's a Fender premium going on. But whenever I feel a neck like that, and I feel that stuff, and I don't really fault the rest of the guitar. I actually think it's a very cool. Let me grab that again. In terms of setup, this one has lower action, which I kind of prefer, but this is where I kind of go, look, this is an awesome looking guitar, and that's kind of why I bought it. I thought it just looked really cool, and I thought, let me get one of those, and let me see. I bet I'll just need to replace the pickups, and it'll be a decent playing guitar. Honestly, the frets are pretty sharp, which has me kind of going, what's going on at Squire? Like, I've never run into sharp frets on a PRS SE. It's just. I think my question is just, are we starting to just pay that name premium and the quality's getting to be the same everywhere? I have complaints about both the Fesley and this, right? In terms of like what could be better, right? It's certainly not like they're not perfect guitars, but they're cheap guitars, right? But kind of starts to feel like I just get a little feeling of like resting on your laurels. Both, I think, great kind of value for the money. But in terms of which guitar is better, I kind of go back and forth. And this being the more expensive one, it's got some more stuff going on. But to me, it's a little like, I mean, this is a nice finish, I gotta say. Both made in China. The finish work on here is really good. I just, there's a little something that's missing from some of the Squires lately. I don't know. Like this guitar, there's just a little bit more I wish was there, and I'd be singing its praises. But it kind of feels like it's just a lot of them are a little disappointing these days with what else is out there. It feels like everybody else's catch has caught up. And I'm sort of waiting for Fender and Squire to go, now let me push the envelope again, like we did when we first came out with the Classic Vibe series. And it just feels a little meh. You know what I mean? A lot of the ones I play just feel a little meh. Are they? Is it a great guitar? Do I think it's a better value than the $700, $500 stuff? I do in a lot of cases, and I think this is a cool guitar. But there's just little tweaks that could be made that I think really would help this thing out. But I don't really quite know what's going on at Squire. They got to get there. I'm hoping that Fender bringing the production over to China on some of the standard stuff, the new standard Strat and Tele series, that will have them looking at quality control across the board. These frets are not something you should have on a anything related to the Fender brand. They're just, to me, it's not acceptable. Not acceptable. Squire or Fender. I understand the parts are getting cheaper, but gosh, you feel it when you play, and I don't like that. I really don't like that. So, what's going on, Squire?